There's another huge puzzle about time. Why does it only go one way?
Ah, the arrow of time. Yeah, why past to future, never the other way around?
Exactly. Which brings us to another really cool idea about where time, or at least its direction, comes from the thermal time hypothesis.
This connects time's flow to entropy.
Entropy, right? That's usually explained as disorder, things getting messier.
That's the common way to put it, yeah. The universe's tendency to move from ordered states to more disordered, more probable states. Think of smashing an egg. It goes from ordered whole to disordered.
And it never spontaneously unsplatters itself.
Exactly. Or think of perfume escaping a bottle. It spreads out into the room, more disordered. It doesn't gather itself back into the bottle. That's entropy increasing, the second law of thermodynamics in action. It's about systems tending towards states with more possible arrangements, more microscopic ways to be.
Okay, so things tend towards messiness. How does that relate to time's arrow?
Well, in the thermal time hypothesis, the perceived flow of time, its directionality, isn't necessarily fundamental in itself. Instead, it arises from this constant, irreversible increase of entropy in the universe, or at least in systems like ours.
So time flows because entropy increases.
Sort of. Wherever you see entropy increasing, you inherently have a direction. You have a state that came before, lower entropy, more ordered, and a state that comes after, higher entropy, more disordered. That statistical directionality is what we perceive as the flow of time, according to this idea.
We can't go backwards in time because entropy doesn't spontaneously decrease overall.
Precisely. In any closed system, entropy tends to increase, or at best stay the same in some ideal reversible process. It doesn't go down. So time flows in the direction of increasing disorder. Our very sense of before and after gets tied to this fundamental asymmetry in thermodynamics.
So it's not a ticking clock, it's the universe getting messier that defines time's flow. That's quite a different picture. And does this connect to memory? Like why we remember the past, not the future?
Absolutely. This entropy connection gives a really compelling physical basis for why time has a direction, unlike space where we can move back and forth. And yes, it helps explain memory. Our memories are essentially records, traces left behind of past lower entropy states. Creating a memory itself involves physical processes that increase entropy overall. The causal chain events happening, creating records, always aligns with this direction of increasing entropy.
You break the glass, you don't unbreak it.
Right. All the macroscopic processes we experience are fundamentally irreversible because of this statistical tendency towards disorder. You can't unscramble an egg. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, the arrow of time, that relentless forward march we feel, might not be baked into the fundamental laws of physics at the micro level, where some laws are time reversible.
It's more of a statistical, large-scale thing.
Exactly. It could be an emergent feature of thermodynamics, a consequence of dealing with systems containing vast numbers of particles whose collective behavior overwhelmingly favors moving towards equilibrium, towards greater disorder.
Yeah.
It's a macroscopic phenomenon.
Born from the statistics of a universe that started in a very ordered, low-entropy state near the Big Bang and has been unwinding ever since.
That's the prevailing cosmological view, yes. This perspective shifts time's arrow from being some fundamental law to being a consequence of the universe's overall state and evolution. Of course, the precise link between this thermodynamic arrow and our subjective feeling of time passing, that's still a really deep mystery.
Okay, wow, what a trip. We started with Newton's simple, steady clock.